Welcome to another episode of Brew Talk. My name is Eric, the host of Brew Talk, and today we're trying something new. We're doing Brew Talk behind the bar, where I'm behind the bar, and I'm joined by Ellie and Michael of Beerded Dog in Chapter 2. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Now, veterans of Brew Talk, we've had you on before. I love it, but this is going to be a little bit more of a relaxed. We're not going to dig into your deepest, darkest secrets. We're going to dig into the deepest, darkest secrets of brewing and beer. But I think we need beers to do that.
Beer to start.
So I told you guys to bring stouts because I thought, why not talk about stouts? It is the season for stouts. So we'll start with Michael's stout. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this while I pour it, Michael?
Well, look at that.
Ooh, fresh.
And nice and warm, too. I'll bring out the cherries. That's our cherry chocolate stout that I brewed for this season. And there's about 6 kilos of cherries that went in this. It was only a half batch, but 6 kilos of cherries. And I also bought 3 jars of cherry juice and rendered that down to a syrup state, and then add that in too. So still could use a little more cherry character, but that's, we're our harshest critics.
Yeah. Now you said even though you brought it in cans, this is not available in can. It's
not
only
available in
tap.
can. Yep.
So this is available at Chapter 2 Brewery.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
That'll sound great on the mics.
It smells so strongly of chocolate.
That cherry really does. It really does come through. It has that. It's very like deep, like that. It's almost like deep fruit, right? Deep stone.
So it was all dark cherries too, so it's not quite the brighter cherry character. So
yeah, very cool.
That was good.
there is lactose in it though. Sorry.
You're gonna
I
die.
already drank
Just
it.
declared right now, so you can stop now.
Is that a no-no?
Well,
No
I had
lactose?
the ice cream earlier
Oh,
today,
that's true.
so
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just,
We're risking it. Sleeping on the toilet
pushing it
tonight.
over
We
the
are
edge.
picking on Ellie today. Not intentionally. I had nothing. That's why it just hit me. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, grab your pillow and your blanket, honey.
Too
I'm
late.
sleeping in the bathroom tonight. That's all
I
right.
should just carry Lactaid with me, but
Just
no.
just
Live on the edge.
suck that lactate
So if you don't
down.
finish, it's not a problem.
That's I dump it down the drain here. That is a big problem though with stouts. I guess is you really have to make sure that you specify if there is lactose in it. The stout that I have on tap right now, the latte stout, it doesn't have lactose in it. But I've had a few people ask, "Is this got lactose in it because of the latte?" But lactose, I think it serves a purpose, especially with stouts, because it gives you that sweetness that doesn't ferment out, and it really helps build mouthfeel and body and character into an already thick stout. So this is well done. So
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases too, people are going for those pastry stout things, right? So you're trying to get that extra sweetness to make it seem like a baked good of some variety or a pastry of some variety, right? So it's like, how do we do that easily? Throw some lactose in there.
Throw some lactose in it. Well, while we enjoy these beers, I've whipped up a fun little game for us here. So I want to do our own brewing rendition of everyone is familiar with Fuck, Marry, Kill. Now, because this is a family-friendly podcast, it is not. We will have our own rendition of it, which I have dubbed, and maybe we can, like, in big letters across the screen, we'll have Drink, Brew, Drain. Drink, Brew, Drain. So the idea is I'm going to read you guys a couple of styles of beers here that... So I spent some time Googling weird beers that existed and people have brewed across the planet. And I curated this list a little bit to us of things that I've already went through and went, yeah, I'd drink that, or hey, I'd like to brew that. But I really want to hear some thoughts and opinions on some of the beers that exist. So
I'm suspicious.
So yeah, that's great. So I want to hear your. So we'll come off a little easy. So spicy beers, Drink, Brew, Drain. You're using your
those. I have
habaneros
2 out of the 3. I would drink it and not too spicy though. I did a mole brown ale, which had a nice bit of spiciness to it, and a jalapeno beer too. So I'm not drinking big pints of it all night long, but I can do a small glass and do enjoy them.
And I'd like to brew one too. Same thing, yeah.
I like to brew it. I did a spicy lime cerveza, and I found the acidity of the lime almost worked really well with the heat of the habanero, and it kind of cuts it, and
yeah, and and it is a popular style across a lot of breweries. People do enjoy the spicy beers. I myself, I really enjoy them. But you're right, too spicy, it becomes. I still want to drink a beer. If I have to drink a beer in between every sip of my beer, then maybe this is too spicy. But I would definitely, it's a drink for me. I would love, and a brew, yeah.
the flip side of that though is that when they advertise that it's a spicy beer and there's no spice whatsoever, that's super disappointing to me.
Can I get
right?
some hot sauce for this beer?
Yeah.
A little Tabasco. Spice it up a little bit.
Turn it into a Caesar.
Right. So again, I'm easing us into it. Things that are a little bit more traditional. Oyster stout.
Have never brewed. I do like oysters, but I don't know if I did do once. A gentleman came by the brewery and brought in some oysters, and I had my dry stout on at the time, and we did do, oysters and stout, and it was tasty, but I don't know if I necessarily want. Sometimes for me, if it ends up being too fishy character in something, I tend to shy away. So I can't say drain right away. It would have to be definitely a try it and see.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would brew one.
You ever had an oyster stout?
No, but I'm into it. Like, I like oysters, and I think that fishiness would be kind of interesting. I think I'd drink that.
Yeah. I've had some before, actually. Silversmith Brewing up in the Niagara region, they make an oyster stout, and I've had the joys of having that a couple of times. I don't know that they used full oysters, though. I think it was just the oyster shells.
I've heard that.
And I think it's the calcium or something. It changes your water profile, right? It gives it a big calcium boost because that's what the shell's made out of. So it creates like a very smooth beer, like the smooth flavor, palate, texture. It really creams it. I don't know. Is that?
That's cool.
Yeah. So oyster stout. So
be willing to try pretty much anything.
Yeah. What we were talking about doing it here because we do get a decent amount of fish products coming through here. So why not do an oyster special, and we'll have an oyster stout? Because if they're going to shuck oysters, I just like saying that word, shuck. If they're going to shuck oysters, shuck. And then we'll have the shells. I would absolutely give that a brew.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Now we're gonna get a little weirder now. Squid ink. Very popular in pasta. They use it to make things black, right? It just you dump it in and it makes everything that deep dark. It sucks the light out of it. Squid ink.
What's the flavor profile of that?
It's a little salty and umami. You get a little fishiness to it.
Yeah, I brew.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
Yeah, it would definitely go.
Not my wheelhouse. Tried one. There is somebody that has made it and tried it.
Here,
not my
locally.
Yes.
I missed it.
Yes,
it was part of an advent calendar one year.
We know the guys. We know the guys.
And I was like, nope, not my thing.
Yeah.
I had that,
cool.
Again, that line of like fishiness that comes out that just doesn't strike a chord with me. So I was like, no, you guys nailed it. You made it, sure.
Yeah. We'll give a shout out to those boys from Craft Heads because we all know who we're talking about. Funny enough, when I was going through this list and looking for the different beers I was like, Craft Heads did that one. Craft Heads did that one. And I'm knocking them off. Like, I can't even ask you guys if you would brew this because someone locally has done it. Like, there was a pizza beer was an option.
I was just going to say the pizza one or shawarma one, I think was another one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We could spend the next 10 minutes talking about all
I love it.
the crazy stuff that Craft Heads has brewed. That shawarma beer was probably the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life, though.
They own that, though.
They did. They owned it. They never said it was good. Nope. They just said it was a shawarma.
It tastes like a shawarma. Mission accomplished.
It tasted like a shawarma. All right, now we're gonna start getting a little weirder now. Here, you guys ready for this one?
No.
Stag Semen Stout. I swear to you, when I was looking up recipes, apparently it gives some sort of creamy finish to it. I don't know. I don't even know if I would use the term creamy on that one. But
if you say anything other than drain, I'm gonna get up and walk away.
The tough part is like anything else. Like in most cases, you're willing to try something once, and because when you do go to that extreme, it's like so weird. It's so kind of off the ball.
No,
try it.
No,
I would try it. I would drink it. I would try it.
I'm being terrible. I'm like,
yeah, you go.
But
money shot.
No, thank you. No.
But you wouldn't even taste it. You wouldn't even taste it.
So Albert comes from a culinary background. We've talked about Rocky Mountain oysters before, and I think I think in my mind that I'd be willing to try anything once, but I think that there's a line.
Yeah.
Where that line is, I feel like it's very close to that.
That one also popped up on the list. Rocky Mountain or Mountain Oyster Stout. Yeah, it was on there. So bull testicles. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If it's a culinary, I'm very on the if it will ferment, I would like to try to ferment it train. Like I will try anything, right? I love the stuff that those guys at Craft Heads used to do. They really push the envelope, and I would like to continue to push the envelope. But I also don't need to make stuff that tastes like garbage.
Yeah.
But someone decided, like, I taste ingredients before I put them in, right? Like I know what strawberries taste like before I put it into my sour. I want to know who tasted deer semen and went,
that needs to be
this.
in the
I want to
beer.
drink lots of this. And where do you source it?
How
do you source it? Who do you call for that one? Hey, John, yeah, it's me. I'm coming down to pick up 5 gallons of deer cum.
We'll have that order ready.
Is this like a stud farm or something?
Farm, yeah.
But no, I think it's like willing to try. Whether or not we ultimately drain it,
just like
that's a whole different story.
Like a teaspoon of it.
Yeah, it will touch my lips. I don't, unless it's like you take a sip and you're, whoa, this is the craziest thing. I don't imagine that I would be drinking a lot of that.
Like, is it the novelty of using it, or does it actually significantly contribute to it?
I think in most of the case it ends up being the novelty. It's like the same time when they had there was an American brewery that did the whole brewer's beard yeast, and again, people are like, oh my god, it's disgusting. And it's like he sat there and just shook his beard over top of the fermenter and be like, okay, well, let's see what we get out of this, right?
Fun segue, because that's the last one that I have on our train.
Yeah, it was on the list.
I wrote down human supplied ingredients, because yes, they've done the beard brews where you create the yeast out of the beard. They've also done, I think it was in Germany, they created a lactobacillus strain out of a lady's
breast milk. Nope.
The other end. Oh yeah.
I was going to say, because people have made cheeses and things out of breast milk. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
That's more.
This one was harvested from the source.
The source.
I see that, and I think that there's aspects of the human body that are maybe more palatable than others.
So you would drink the breast milk beer, but dump the vagina beer, is what you're saying. Drain the vagina beer.
Yeah. Drink the breast milk, drink, yeah.
Again, we want to try them all, but as we talked to a little bit earlier in regards to some of these, I was like, it's not like they're just taking a swab and immersing that in, right? So it's become a clean, isolated strain. It's just, as you alluded to, the novelty aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
This came from here.
Yeah.
But there's health and sanitary reasons why you said you can't just swab and dunk and make beer.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Come here, Michael. Stick your beard in this beer and shake it around.
This isn't the conversation I thought I would be having tonight. When I woke up, I was.
These are the risks you take sitting down on Brew Talk. So.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today? Who knows? Who knows?
The mystery question.
The mystery question. All right. That was the ones that I came prepared for. Do you guys have any fun ideas for a brew? Drink or drain?
No, I'm the boring brewer, right? I'm the guy that's like, just make a great traditional style for me. There it is.
Ooh, good.
I'm down for those things. I don't necessarily need to push the boundaries all the time for things or find secret ingredients. There's one my friend mentioned before. There's a brewery that made a truffle beer, and I ended up having to charge us big money for it. And when it's one of those, again, he said, "Okay, great, you did it." But did you ever ask yourself, did I need to? And you'll get some people to be like, well, why not do it because it's here? It's like the whole, why do you climb the mountain? Because it's there.
Because it's there.
So I can make this beer. Why not? So I don't begrudge people for trying.
My approach is generally, if I'm going to do something, I want to make it really approachable. Like if I'm good, I want it to have broad appeal. Like I don't want to have like super niche things. So if I'm going to do a flavoring, I want to do it to the point where you can find it, but it's not necessarily overpowering or unpleasant. So that's generally my approach.
I'm kind of the total opposite of that. I'm lucky that I'm in a scenario where I have kind of the freedom to mess with taps, because we do have so many taps that I can just throw a 30-liter keg or a 20-liter keg on of a very experimental style beer. Because some people might come in and they might go, ooh, I don't usually like that flavor. But then they'll order one beer of it, try it, and either go, yep, I don't like that flavor. You don't need to get another one. This beer isn't come in and drink it every Monday. This is a come in, taste it, and confirm with yourself that I don't like this flavor. Or maybe you do. Maybe you suddenly decide that you like sour vagina semen beer. I don't know. I'm never making that. Nope. That's not a brew for me.
But I think that there's definitely some beers that you can really, really enjoy in 4 or 5 ounces, but you're never going to drink in, that you're never going to drink in a full pint, right?
I've had quite a few of those, and that's where it gets to that point. I can drink this in that 5 ounces. I had it. I tried it. It's not bad. There was one I had. It was a Carolina Reaper pepper beer. And I'm not a huge spicy guy. I was like, that was just too much for me. Like the overall flavor was good, but I'm like, I just can't enjoy that much heat. But
Cheers.
Yeah,
Ellie,
tell
what
us.
do we- Ellie,
Okay,
what do we-
Tell us what we're drinking here, Al.
This isn't a stout, but this is our one of our dark seasonals. It's the Black Labber Black Lager. So hopefully all the light and crispy aspects of a lager with the roasty toasty malts of a stout. In theory.
In theory.
Yeah,
Well,
it definitely has a nice roasty character.
In present, it seems to be that way. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great beer.
I love Silversmith's Black Lager so much. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how, so we're figuring it out.
I also enjoy the Silversmith Black Lager. It is an amazing
I love
beer.
it.
Well, back in my early days of listening to podcasts, getting into beer, we're talking only 10 years ago plus, there was a US-based podcast where they would try to replicate well-known products. And they would sometimes they'd email and message the breweries like, hey, we're trying to create this on a homebrew level. Any tips, information you could give us? And a lot of them would just give you the recipe because, again, trying to, even though they give you the recipe, scaling it down or getting it exactly right. So and people ask me too, like, what's in your beer? I just tell them.
Absolutely.
I'm not necessarily telling you the ratios of the quantities.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you all the ingredients that I use. It's up to you now to figure out those things. So in some of those cases, I'm sure maybe if you, hey, just curious.
Yeah, shoot, especially if you're doing it for a homebrew level or you just want. But we started doing that here as well on all of our beer menus. We started listing just like without even people asking us, like this has Carafa and this has Crystal 60 and like all of them. Again, you're not getting the ratios, but even still, if someone came in here and said, hey, I'm a home brewer. I really like your beer. I would like to make it at home. I would 100% give them the recipe. I would go downstairs and harvest yeast out of the fermenter to give them. I'm like, here, this is the yeast that I use too, right? Like it's such a, I say this all the time, community, and it's such a community-based thing that I don't want anyone to fail at brewing beer. I would love to see people continue to create great beers. This is a dying hobby, right? Being in the industry right now, we can see how hard it is for all of us to I'm not selling a lot of beer. I'm selling a little bit of beer, which is fine, but I would love to be selling more beer. And it's just, unfortunately, people aren't drinking as much as they used to. You would think with today's society, everyone struggling, be depressed, drink beer.
It's even cheaper now to be a home brewer though than to buy or to go like if you want to make something that you enjoy, then for sure reach out, and I don't think anyone's going to withhold that information.
Yeah.
Out of spite or
yeah, exactly. I'm not going to tell you what's like you said, the recipe itself, finding the ratios and stuff to make it the exact same, but also a recipe is just 10%, right? There's so much more into brewing beer, temperature control and everything else. And I can't control your brew day. I'll give you the ingredients. Hell, let me know in advance. I'll mill it up for you and throw it into a little bag and send you on your way, right? And you know what? I would love to try it. If you come into my establishment and you bring me a little jam jar filled with beer poured out of your tap, I will drink it and I will give you an honest opinion, right? And I would love nothing more.
Bring Eric free beer.
Bring Eric free beer. It's the only reason why I do these episodes. I got beer in front of me here. But yeah, like I would love to, I would love nothing more. We're also passionate about if someone comes in and tries to brew a beer that I've brewed, like that's like, must be how these musicians feel, when you're...
Imitation is the...
greatest flattery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Someone wants to brew my beer? Great, done. This hasn't happened yet, so I'm just living in a dream world.
Even within that context, so, I mean, if someone says, oh, hey, I really like your Oktoberfest lager that you made, like, there's only so many things, so much criteria for that makes an Oktoberfest lager. So I was like, hey, wait a minute. This tastes very much like Eric's. Well, it's an Oktoberfest. It kind of should taste the same if we've made the same style of beer. So even sometimes then giving the rest, whether you give the recipe or it's close to it anyway, you're going to get the same beer.
Or the classic IPA that I'm pretty sure every single one of us has made once in our life, a Bell's Two Hearted clone, right? And I have gone to other restaurants. I recently did a Bell's Two Hearted this summer because we just wanted an easy drinking IPA. And I was like, well, nothing beats Centennial hops. Let's throw a Bell's Two Hearted on. And so I did a Bell's Two Hearted. And there was another local brewery that had a similar beer. And as soon as we sat down and I ordered it, I took one sip and I was like, it was a Bell's Two Hearted clone. Like right away, I knew it. It's such a familiar flavor. And I had been drinking it here as well. But you're right. Like there's only so much you can do. And if you do it right, it should taste the same, right? If you're using the same ingredients that I'm using and they taste the same, then I think we both did all right. Yeah. There's only so much that can go wrong with beer, right? And over years of doing it, that's one of the things is we've learned what can go wrong. but because of our experienced palate. Unfortunately, however, we do get dealt inexperienced palates all the time. And that is going to lead us to our next topic right now, which is every brewer's favorite thing, Untapped. Now, am I allowed to say that? Do you think I'm going to get like a cease and desist because we're going to sit here and trash Untapped for the next 10 minutes? Or
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Well, if you're watching this, Untapped CEOs, shut down. We don't like you.
Well, part of it, it's the split on it. That's when we don't like it. It serves a certain, like,
It has its purpose.
And it's been very helpful back when I started drinking again too. There was a few apps coming out, but it was customer input. So all of a sudden you'd get a beer and you'd go to look it up in this different app, and you have the can in front of you, you're reading, oh, it's this beer, 6%, 35 IBU. Then you find it in the app and it's like 7.5% and some different IBU. And you're like, this information isn't accurate. How do I know I'm putting in the same beer? And then there'd be like 7 or 8 listings. And again, all slightly different. Then after we're like, well, this is kind of pointless to have this. So I find with Untapped a little more accurate. And basically at that point, as we've talked about before, is about tracking. I think that's what most of us tend to use it for is just keeping record of the beer you had.
I have it. I don't really update it. I've updated it a couple of times, but it's not a regular go-to app for me. I do know some people really enjoy it. And again, I'm as much as we want to trash talk it from a brewer's perspective, sure. I love nothing more than going on and reading bad tweets about myself. But I understand its purpose, and you're right. It's a good tracking app, and it is really cool for people to go along and list the beers, and other people read them. Because obviously now I've been paying attention to the Untapped reviews here, and there is one guy that comes in regularly, and he just gets flights, and he just drinks these small flights. And shout out to William.
I was just going to say, is it William?
It's William. Yeah. It's William. So maybe you know William too.
I do.
But you know what? He's very honest in his reviews, and he uses the app the way that it's supposed to be used. He goes through the beers, he tries them, and he gives them honest reviews. And then from that same token, I've seen other guys, which I'm not going to name, drink 3 or 4 of the same beer all night long, and then the next day I check Untapped and I've seen that he's reviewed it 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm like, you drink it all night long.
When I use Untapped for myself for beers that I'm drinking, I try and quantify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is, this is the best beer I've ever had. Every time I see this on a menu, I'm going to get it. And then whittle your way down to like 3 is like, this is a really easy drinking beer and something I would probably order consistently. So trying to give yourself your own metric system and assign it to that, so that when you go back and look at your own Untapped, then you have a way to know this is what I meant by giving it that rating. But I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
Sure.
Right? Like, I don't know.
And might get flack for it again. I've gotten flack for saying this for years. The unfortunate part, most of the customers don't have the beer knowledge to, other than make a purely subjective, I like it or I don't like it review. Because we've all had the ones, oh, you got a low mark on something, and their comment was, well, I don't like this style. And say, well, thanks. You drank this beer and you gave us a bad mark because you didn't like the style. Doesn't mean it wasn't made well. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good example of the beer. You simply didn't like it. So now that's reflecting upon a brewery's score because you subjectively don't like something. So, and it's tough because we've all had enough experience now that when you get something, you're like, okay, I know what this is supposed to kind of be like. And really, if it's just a good beer, at bare minimum, it should be getting at least a 3. Like, it's made well. I didn't necessarily like it, but I'm not picking any flaws other than the fact I don't like it. It should get at least a 3.
I wish there's a way that you could like privatize. Like, I didn't care for this, but I don't necessarily want that to reflect on,
especially if you're using it as
for myself. For tracking,
you're tracking these beers, and all of a sudden you're putting 1-star reviews on because I didn't like that. But then now it's showing up on their stuff. Yeah. And it's so funny because like I've seen the total opposite of that. I've got a beer on tap right now. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to ruin it. But I don't like it. Like there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing technically faulted about it. I just don't like it. Yeah. And it's got, a handful of reviews, and I think the lowest is like 4 stars. Yep. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, but you're talking like, this is just people's palates. Yep. They may not be brewers coming in. It's a really weird flavor, and we can even sample a little bit of it if you want. It's I will name it. It's my Monk Cowboy Belgian style IPA. It's a Belgian, so I took Belgian yeast and I did it with like good old fashioned West Coast hops and a West Coast batch of beer. I ordered a pint of it one night. I think I took 3 sips out of it, and I was just like, "Can you just dump this out? This is not what I'm feeling." But
No.
it's very interesting. But it's got tons of good reviews. So it is such a spectrum on you get on Untapped, because you might get something that you might make that you think is amazing and someone gives 2 stars, and then you might make something that is awful, and then some people are giving it 4 to 5 stars. You got a guy coming in every week and drinking it. Like, it's, hey, you know what? Drink what you like at the end of the day.
Yep.
Don't give me 2 stars,
Maybe a good thing about Untapped, so that they don't blacklist us, is that, like with Erie Street, when you get a new edition, it can ping and be like, oh, we've got a new beer on. Okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. So every now and then it's like, oh, I wonder if the rotation has shifted, or I wonder if there's anything new. So that's something that I think.
I guess this is where we blackball ourselves. It's not so much that Untapped itself is the problem. It's the way in which it gets used by some people.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's always been, as you were just saying yourself, and I've said it to every brewing customers when they come in and you make a new beer and you put it out and you're like, this is really good. And you're like, oh, I'm glad you like it. Not my favorite. What do you mean it's not your... Wasn't what I was hoping for. And sometimes I always say, I'll make the best beer. I'm like, oh, I really love this beer. And I'll put it out there and everybody's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, what do you mean this is the best beer I've ever made? And you'll make something where you're disappointed in it. And, as I really don't want to put this on tap. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for. And they're like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you just sit there and you're like, okay.
That's Harrow.
Sure.
Every time I put a Belgian on tap.
They love it?
No,
really?
I hate it.
Oh, they hate it?
Or they hate it, or they're just like, oh, what is that?
Ooh,
That's weird.
Belgian.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The idea of brewing Belgians and fun things like that, though, like I love that we can do it. But you're right. You almost have to brew to your clientele. You have to make sure that what you're making is going to sell, right? But then there's that point where we have to decide, like, where are you selling your soul, smoothie beers, to to making things that you still want to enjoy. Like, I like experimenting, so I have no problem making smoothie beers, making seltzers, all that stuff. I want to experiment. I want to make things that taste good, and I do want to make things that sell. Would I love nothing more than to just brew German style lagers and drink nothing but that the rest of my life? Yes. Right? Or stouts. Like, I would love to just make 1 or 2 styles, but you have to make what sells too. So.
Yeah. And like you said, we're in a position where we're fortunate enough that we're small enough that we can do 1 keg and we don't have to like throw away a huge batch if it doesn't sell, right?
Yeah, you're not committed.
Yeah.
It really, I guess, when it comes down to is those local ingredients. When you spend, an extra $50 to get yourself a big flat of fruit of some sort, and then you make it, and I don't know, it goes super heavy bread or something, and you don't like it. So, do you guys have any big plans? Are there any big plans for 2026? Anything, the Beerded Dog? Any innovation brews you're looking for?
I like to experiment. Like, again, within reason. We're not making Rocky Mountain oyster beer or anything. So
why not?
No. So I'm trying to do a Dubai chocolate stout right now. The pistachio, a little bit of lactose, which hurts my tummy. And I'm really hoping that turns out, because I think that people do peanut butter stouts. So why can't we do pistachio? We're gonna figure out why.
Yep.
But yeah.
And again, because we're so small batch,
let's try it.
We're lucky that like the 3 of us do kind of have that ability to experiment, because we are small. We're not making hectoliters upon hectoliters. And good luck finding that much pistachio if you wanted to make something that big.
Yeah,
too,
that's the
right?
problem, is that you gotta get it on sale, I think.
Yeah. What about Chapter 2? Any big plans for 2026? New innovations?
Nothing super experimental. Just trying to expand upon some of the stout line. We're trying to run a stout line through the winter time, doing some flavored stouts, because stouts are one of those. It's like that nice blank canvas. There's so many things that can work with it, so it's easy to come up with some ideas to throw in there, but nothing concrete at the moment. Just plugging away, trying to make beer that people will like and people will come and drink. Come out to drink, please. Support us. I guess that's the other thing too. Just trying to survive in this day and age. You alluded to it earlier. People just aren't coming out nearly as often. So hopefully we can get more interest. A lot of the batches I'm doing are actually even half batches, so that we can hopefully turn some things over a little bit quicker, more quickly, and get people to try some new things. So,
do you guys have any special days? Like, do you have beers cheap on Wednesdays? Like here we do Thirsty Thursdays, so all of our house pints are $1 off. everything that we have. So right now our 12 ounces are $3.75 and our house pints are $5.75, 20 ounce pints too. So, that's a good Thursday night thing. I know most places they do have. Do you guys do any special drink days?
We have various specials throughout the week because we also have the kitchen on too. So there are a lot of times there are food and beer specials that put on. We just released a new slider special that's going on for happy hour time. So check our socials. I don't know specifically offhand because I'm usually in the back making the beer. So I do feel bad I don't know specifically what those details are, but check our socials, chapter 2, and you can see all the specials that we have throughout the week.
Awesome. I noticed the Beerded Dog lately has been really involved in charities and stuff too. That's really cool.
That's something that's really important, I think, to Kim, the owner, and myself. I love participating in that sort of stuff. And Harrow is such a great community for that. Mm-hmm. So, we want to do more events. We want to do more like one-offs in the evenings, like little Pate nights or charity events or the burgers and brews and that sort of thing.
We're definitely getting at that point, though, where we almost need to have events to get people in the door. Like
our food and beer pairing event. Mm-hmm. So we did that. So it was like a crash course in our menu. So we shrunk down our main menu items, and we did a pairing of 5 main items from our menu with 5 of our flagship brews and a couple of our seasonals. So then we were able to if you've never been out there, then you get pretty much this huge breadth of what we have to offer, which is really cool to have new customers come in and try.
Absolutely, yeah. And much like anything, how do you pay attention to this stuff? Follow on social medias, right? We all have them. We all use them. We all hate them, but they dictate. You love them. Well, you're good at them.
That does help.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming and sitting down here on a different rendition of Brew Talk Behind the Bar. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sharing your wonderful beers. And let's, everyone pay attention to all the wonderful things that are going to be coming up in 2026. I'll follow social medias, Chapter 2 Brew, Beerded Dog Brewing, Erie Street Brewery. And we are on set here at Erie Street GastroPub. I am behind the bar. My name is Eric.